Hello everyone and welcome to Bobcat as a totem. I've actually made this video in response to some requests. After I put the video up about Canadian lynx, I had a lot of people ask me about Bobcat. And Bobcat and Canadian lynx are both species of the cat lynx. So they do share a lot of similar qualities. So after you watch this video, you might wish to watch the one on Canadian lynx because there are a couple places I elaborate more on qualities that Bobcat does share with lynx, and you might get some extra information there. But there are some significant differences as well between Bobcat and Canadian lynx. So, Bobcat as a totem. First and foremost, Bobcats, like Canadian lynx, have extremely acute vision. It makes them excellent hunters. And when an animal has this kind of vision, it makes people who have that totem animal a little more likely to be clairvoyant, to have psychic vision. So people who are clairvoyant may see the truth behind somebody's deceitful behavior. They may actually experience visions or precognitive dreams. They may see things that other people would say are not there, ghosts and spirits and the such. And they may also receive a lot of the wisdom from their guides, their intuitive wisdom, through things they can see. So signs on the roadside, for example, or cloud formations, pictures people send them, things like that. Now, the Bobcat also has excellent hearing. This is something that it shares with all four of the lynx species cats. They have those like black tufted ears with the little whiskers, and what those do for the cat is the whiskers kind of act like antenna. It allows them to focus on really tiny prey sounds. And so people who have Bobcat as a totem are likely to be very clairaudient. They will hear the truth behind somebody's lies. They will receive a lot of their wisdom through songs and music oftentimes, or things they can hear. They may actually hear the voices of their guides. These are the people who hear the phone ring a couple seconds before it does, by the way. Now, Bobcats, like Canadian lynx again, are very solitary, but they are even more so than Canadian lynx. Bobcat people tend to like to be left alone. They may not be complete shut-ins, but they are usually very introverted. They're very comfortable with their own company. Again, they need a lot of alone time. They will fiercely resist anybody who tries to shove them in a group when they don't want to be there. These aren't people who need to be constantly surrounded by others, and they're really more likely to become annoyed in the presence of other people. They also tend to be single parents, very strong single parents. Lynx, like many other big cats, they don't have partnerships to raise the kittens for the most part. The male stops by and then he leaves before the kittens are even born. And with Bobcat, this is especially true. So if you're a Bobcat person in a relationship with someone with whom you would not want to have children, it might be wise to be a little extra cautious, because it's kind of one of those things that's in your cards. You are more likely to become a single parent. Now, if you do become a single parent, and sometimes this is just an act of God, and no matter how much we try to avoid it, it happens. Bobcats are incredibly self-sufficient, incredibly strong, incredibly protective of their young. So if you are a single parent, you will handle the job beautifully. Bobcats also share something else with the species lynx as a whole, and that is the bobbed tail. In other cats, the long tail helps them balance. It helps them right themselves when they fall, for example, which is why cats can fall those enormous distances and still land on their feet. So this bobbed tail often represents a lack of balance. Bobcat people can feel a little scattered sometimes. They may not really know what to focus on. Now, once they decide what it is they want to focus on, they will go after it with everything they have. But it may take them a while to figure it out. They may scatter their energies a little bit. They may feel ungrounded. The bobbed tail also is linked to our base chakra, meaning that there is a lack of feelings of connectedness, of security, groundedness, of family ties, blood ties. So somebody who has a Bobcat totem It will be incredibly important for them to learn how to become more grounded, more focused. There are meditations for this, or you can just spend a lot of time out in nature doing creative activities, things that make you feel really connected. But if it is an absence of blood ties, one of the important things to remember is that some of us are born into families into which we just have never felt that we belonged. And sometimes this is a huge blessing. Differentiating ourselves from other people, especially when they're trying to make us like them, can be one of the most amazing examples of spiritual development that we will go through. So if you've always felt like, gosh, I have no clue how I wound up with these people, and you're a Bobcat person, this is just kind of part of your karma for this life. And maybe it's actually a really good thing. Maybe you'll discover some really wonderful things about yourself that you wouldn't have if you'd been in an environment where people didn't challenge you. Bobcats also have another commonality with Canadian lynx, and this is an affinity for water. They actually like to swim. Now, if you put my cat in a bathtub, you wouldn't have the happy results. In fact, you'd have screaming. But bobcats swim very well. What they don't share with lynx is an equivalent, or Canadian lynx, is an equivalent ability to negotiate snow. Bobcats can't do snow. So in the lynx person, Canadian lynx person, you have this really emotional nature one day, and then the next day they're entirely numb. Emotions are related to water, and so the snow in this case is like frozen emotion, turning off your emotions, whereas the water is more having access to our emotions, sometimes feeling drowned by them. Because the bobcat can't do snow, but it can do water, this means that, for one thing, bobcat people are very creative. This is awesome. Water is also linked to creativity. But it also means that they don't really have an off switch when it comes to their emotions. When they feel deeply, and their emotions can really overwhelm them sometimes. And a lot of times they wish they had an off switch, but it's just not there. So for Bobcat people, part of your journey is going to be learning how to deal with these emotions. To remember that even though they may feel bigger than you, they're not. They're just feelings. They're not facts. And a lot of what you'll be doing is finding ways you can channel these emotions. So creativity is a very good one. Exercise is a very good one, for example. Now, bobcats are emotional. They're also very feisty and very scrappy, is how I have heard it described. You don't want to mess with a bobcat person. They will win every single time. And bobcat is a really great example of something really powerful coming in a really small package. Remember, these cats aren't a whole lot bigger than your average house cat. My cat's 18 pounds. Your average bobcat's about 20. So here's this little bitty person perhaps, or maybe it seems like they have a little bitty personality, or because they might be quiet loners, people might think they can't get things done. And yet these guys are stubborn, and they are persistent, and they will put up a fight. So for example, when a Canadian lynx hunts, it gives up if it can't get what it wants after about 5 bounces. Bobcat will actually get on the thing's back, even if it's a deer, many times its size, dig in its claws, and not let go until the thing is dead. So bobcats will do the same thing. If they want something, they will hang on for dear life until they get it. Sometimes they hang on past the point of danger, but they want it, and so they're not going to give up. Now, the way these cats hunt, they're very, very patient, extremely patient. Extremely interested in all the little details. And so bobcat people are good planners. They're very observant. They're good detail people. They can really, really focus on something for a very, very long time. Bobcat in nature can sit motionless for like 7 hours watching its prey. So bobcat people are actually like the best workers in the world once they discover what it is they want to work on. Because not only will they look at all the details, not only will they make all the plans, but they will actually see them through to completion. Assuming they really have decided they want this thing. If they're no longer interested, then forget it. They're just going to give up. By the way, the old adage, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought them back, that really applies to bobcat people. They will become very, very interested in something, pursue it with everything that they have. Maybe it does not seem to be the best thing for them, But because they will see it through to the end if they want it, even if the consequences aren't that great, they're so excited about having gotten it, it doesn't tend to faze them. Bobcat people don't really stay down long. They might get walloped a few times, but they always do get back up. Now, as far as bobcats are predator animals who have a relationship with their prey, they are a little bit like the Canadian lynx with their relationship to rabbits. Canadian lynx are so inextricably tied into their prey animal, the snowshoe hare, that when the hare diminishes, the lynx population diminishes. Bobcat people have a similar relationship with the rabbits they eat, but not quite as strong. So just for bobcat people in general, there may be a particular person on whom you base all of your decisions, or you may find yourself becoming so routinized that even when things begin to become uncomfortable, you don't want to change because you're so used to doing it that way. This goes with being kind of stubborn and obstinate. If this is you, just remember that yes, you do have a tendency to kind of fixate on one particular thing, but when that one particular thing is gone, then you're going to be left in the lurch. So part of the bobcat's life lesson is developing some flexibility, is learning not to base all their decisions on one person. It's learning to feel more about what they want instead of letting rules dictate for them. Now, again, there is another video, Canadian Lynx as a Totem, that you may choose to watch for additional clarification. There are also videos on lynx as a spirit guide, Canadian lynx as a spirit guide, and bobcat as a spirit guide, which, if they're not already up there now, will be coming soon. And if you have any more questions about what it's like to be a bobcat person, if you have another totem, another spirit guide, if you just want some more information, I'm really easy to find. You can track me down at my website, which is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com. I also have a blog through the website. You can find me on Facebook at Ravenlight Holistic Healing, or you can contact me via YouTube. Cheers, my darlings, and have a wonderful day.